Tonight, 22 million facing new flood threats after a night of deadly drenching rain. Violent summer storms slamming the Northeast. Roads in New Jersey turning into rivers. Rushing water pressing up against windows. Cars submerged. Rescuers using construction vehicles to carry people to safety. Water flooding into New York City's subway system as passengers were on trains. Also breaking tonight, the Speaker of the House and staunch Trump ally Mike Johnson saying he wants all the Epstein files to be released as Attorney General Pam Bondi is pressed by our reporter. 24 hours after President Trump announced weapons would go to Ukraine, the new report. He asked President Zelensky if Ukraine could reach Moscow with their missiles. Now Trump saying he doesn't want the Russian capital bombed. Keir Simmons in Russia tonight. The stunning indictment in the killings and shootings of those Minnesota lawmakers. Court documents say the gunman dressed as a police officer confessed to the crimes. The new details about one couple who shielded their daughter from the assassin's bullets. Now on trial, a dentist accused of killing his wife with poisoned protein shakes. Prosecutors allege he searched online how many grams of pure arsenic will kill a human. The River Inferno, the sailboat up in flames, the Good Samaritan who saved 5 lives.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Yamas.
And good evening. Severe summer weather is wreaking havoc once again, this time in the Northeast. Take a look at these images. Water pouring down into New York City's subway stations during rush hour. Cars pulled away by high-rising floodwaters in New Jersey. People rescued from roads that look more like rivers. And at one point, it was raining so hard, it flooded through the ceiling of this movie theater. The amount of rain that fell across New York City in 1 hour last night, the second ever highest recorded. And it's not over just yet. 22 million people, take a look, across the country face new flooding threats tonight. We begin with Eric McLaughlin in hard-hit New Jersey.
We got rescue over here.
Tonight, throughout the Northeast, recovering from this. Yesterday evening, more than 2.5 inches of rain fell on New York City. Video shows water pouring into parts of the subway system. Passengers stunned.
That is seriously high,
And in nearby Plainfield, New Jersey, 2 people were killed when their car was swept away. Rescue crews unable to reach them in time. First responders managed to save Francis Elgert, who tells us he ignored the flood warnings and during his drive home found himself surrounded by floodwater.
Were you worried you were going to drown?
A little bit. I started realizing I'm at risk here. You know, there's water coming at me.
Not far away, Nancy Drews looked out her front window and saw this. Complete chaos. A container full of desks and supplies from the high school more than a mile away, crashing through her neighbor's brand new fence.
It was waves. It was like an ocean.
This isn't the first time her neighbor, Alexandra Esparza, has had to deal with flash flooding. It happened to her back in 2021 when the remnants of Hurricane Ida struck New Jersey.
I don't know what we're going to do because this is happening more often.
We, New Jersey, we, America, we, the globe, we're getting dragged by climate.
Statistics show that for the last 55 years, the vast majority of the country has seen summer rainstorms intensify. As temperatures rise, the air can hold more water vapor, making the storms worse than ever. At this animal shelter in Plainfield, employees swam through the flooded streets to save the dogs. The animal's okay, but the shelter devastated.
We're a nonprofit organization, so we don't have a lot of money to begin with, so this sets us back a lot.
Aaron joins us now live. Aaron, there's a mystery there behind you. A home exploded during these floods?
That's right, Tom. Officials say that house exploded. Firefighters were seen battling the flames in the middle of 2 feet of water. They say no one was home at the time, so no one was injured. Tom.
A bit of good news there. All right, Aaron McLaughlin leading us off. And the flood threat isn't over just yet for millions of Americans tonight. Al Roker joins us now live in studio. Al, what are you tracking?
Well, we've got these storms again and flash flood watches and warnings, Tom. We have seen more flash flood watches and warnings issued this this year and in any time in the last 40 years. We've got a lot of activity right now along the southeast, and we're watching this tropical disturbance 93L starting to get better defined. The latest model tracks keep it maybe close to shore, but these Gulf waters in their upper 80s, and that means much higher moisture content. And so whether it becomes a tropical system or not, we're looking at 7 to 10 inches from the panhandle of Florida, Tom, all the way into the central part of Louisiana, and that's going to mean massive flooding.
No break to all this rain. All right, Al Roker. Al, we thank you for that. Moving on now to that new pressure on Attorney General Pam Bondi. House Speaker and top Trump ally Mike Johnson calling on her to release all the Jeffrey Epstein files. And now President Trump is also weighing in. Kelly O'Donnell is at the White House.
New tonight, the MAGA movement's push for public disclosure of the Justice Department's files on notorious sex offender Jeffrey Epstein now includes a high-profile Trump ally.
I'm for transparency.
House Speaker Mike Johnson.
It's a very delicate subject, but we should put everything out there and let the people decide it.
A push for damage control from the president's own daughter-in-law, Lara Trump.
I do think that there needs to be more transparency on this, and I think that will happen.
Earlier today, Attorney General Pam Bondi tried to deflect Epstein questions.
Nothing about Epstein. I'm not going to talk about Epstein.
Reporters pressed her on new comments today from President Trump, suggesting Bondi consider opening some files.
She's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release.
The president said today you would release credible files related to Mr. Epstein. Are you prepared to do that, and when would you?
Our memo speaks for itself, and we'll get back to you on anything else.
That DOJ memo said it found no incriminating client list, no credible evidence of blackmail, and therefore no further disclosure. That stunned some Trump supporters because she had said this in February when asked about a client list.
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Then her push to clarify.
My response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that.
The controversy lit a political wildfire in MAGA world.
Make some noise if you care about the Jeffrey Epstein scandal.
Asked about these new calls for action, senior officials point to the president's own words, where he says it's up to Bondi to decide. One official telling me, we'll see what happens. Tom?
Kelly O'Donnell for us. Kelly, thank you. Now to President Trump's deal to send military aid to Ukraine and his new warning to President Zelensky not to target Moscow. All of it sparking sharp reaction inside Russia tonight, and that's exactly where our Keir Simmons is.
Tonight, 24 hours after announcing the U.S. will send Ukraine weapons paid for by NATO allies, President Trump warning they should not be used on Russia's capital.
Should Zelensky target Moscow or deeper into Russia?
No, he shouldn't target Moscow.
After the Financial Times reported President Trump on a July 4th telephone call asked the Ukrainian leader if he could strike inside Russia, citing people briefed on the discussions, who said Trump asked, Vladimir, can you hit Moscow? Can you hit St. Petersburg too? The White House disputing the report, saying President Trump was merely asking a question, not encouraging further killing. Outside the Kremlin today, Russians responding with defiance.
Does it scare you?
Nope.
Why not?
Why it should scare me?
I believe in peace between Russia and America.
Kyiv and many Ukrainian cities have been bombarded by Russia, often with missiles, while Ukraine has mostly used drones like this strike today for its attacks inside Russia. President Trump has threatened punishing tariffs on Russia and its trading partners if President Putin does not agree to a peace deal in 50 days.
I've been very disappointed with President Putin. I've solved a lot of wars in the last 3 months, but I haven't gotten this one yet.
Today we met Alexander, who cuts keys and repairs shoes for a living. He says business has improved. We don't give a damn about Trump, he told us. The Kremlin says President Trump's deadline is very serious, but don't expect a quick response. President Putin does not easily yield to pressure. Tom?
Keir Simmons and his team reporting tonight from Moscow. Keir, thank you. Back here at home, a federal grand jury just returned a 6-count indictment against the man accused of carrying out a political assassination in Minnesota. Prosecutors say Vance Boelter stalked his victims and disguised himself as a police officer. Adrian Broadus has more. Adrian?
Tom, Vance Boelter is charged with murdering State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband, plus attempting to kill State Senator John Hoffman, his wife, and their daughter Hope. Authorities releasing chilling photos of the alleged murder weapon and a 2-page confession note they say Boelter left behind in the car. We learned today the Hoffmans, who were critically injured, used their bodies to shield their daughter from bullets. In a statement, Hope writes, quote, "I will forever coexist with the PTSD of watching my parents nearly shot dead and seeing my life flash before my eyes with a gun in my face." Boelter now faces capital charges that could carry the death penalty. Tom?
Adrian brought us with some new reporting there. Adrian, thank you. Now to a shocking double murder in Los Angeles. Police say a music supervisor for American Idol and her husband were found dead inside their home after a trail of blood at their front door led them to their bodies. Here's Camila Bernal.
A welfare check leading police to a trail of blood. 3 law enforcement sources familiar with the investigation say officers sent to check on residents at this Los Angeles home found blood and then broke in through a glass door on Monday afternoon, discovering a man and a woman dead inside. NBC News confirms the victims are American Idol music supervisor Robin Kay and her husband Thomas DeLuca, both age 70. The couple found in separate rooms. Both appeared to have been shot in the upper body, according to the law enforcement sources, who say they found Kay in the home's pantry and her husband in the bathroom. Police were called to that same house last Thursday after reports of a prowler.
My renter saw somebody hopping the fence, but that was back on Thursday. She called 911, but we didn't hear anything since then.
Police now believe the murders took place that same day, but found no signs of forced entry at the time. The investigation later revealed the suspect entered the home through an unlocked door.
And the 22-year-old man is in custody tonight. Those charges are pending. American Idol saying Kay was loved and respected and will forever be in their hearts. Tom?
All right, a major development there. Camila, we thank you. Now to Colorado, where the murder trial of a dentist accused of poisoning his wife got underway today with dramatic opening statements about what he allegedly searched for online and what the defense is now saying. Details from Sam Brock.
In a Colorado courtroom, prosecutors accused Dr. James Craig of poisoning his wife Angela's protein shakes in 2023 and said a motive, while not necessary, was there.
These are money problems with other women. In this case, it is.
Craig pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder and a slew of other charges, his defense acknowledging the financial woes and saying his wife, a mother of 6, contributed to them, also revealing Craig's decades of extramarital relationships, but arguing that doesn't make someone guilty of murder.
You may not think he's a good husband, but that's not what you're here to decide. You're here to decide whether or not the prosecution has proven the elements.
Prosecutors pointed to a toxicology report that found acute cyanide, ingredients from over-the-counter eye drops, and arsenic in Angela's autopsy, with an affidavit laying out Craig's purchase of arsenic on Amazon and his online searches. How many grams of pure arsenic will kill a human? And is arsenic detectable in autopsy? The court document also alleging he searched YouTube around that time for top 5 undetectable poisons that show no signs of foul play and how to make poison.
How important do you think the digital evidence in this case is going to be?
The most important. It's going to come down to this narrative, which is told with the digital evidence, which is irrefutable.
Prosecutors say while Angela received hospital treatment over a 10-day stretch, Craig ordered cyanide to his office and then visited her.
He went in that room to murder.
The defense countering the evidence is all circumstantial in a case sure to spark strong emotions beyond Colorado. Sam Brock, NBC News.
All right, now to a stunning stat that caught our eye. GLP-1 weight loss drugs, so popular for adults, skyrocketed 65% in use for kids. This immediately after the American Academy of Pediatrics issued guidelines recommending them 2.5 years ago, and the use has grown more since then. Kate Snow joins us now live. And Kate, parents are going to want to know, is this safe for kids, and how young is too young?
Yeah, sure thing, Tom. Well, the FDA has approved certain GLP-1s for kids 12 and up, and there are studies showing they're
safe and effective, though the authors of this new report say more study is needed of newer GLP-1 drugs. Just like adults, there can be side effects for kids like gastrointestinal symptoms, headaches and fatigue, and rarely pancreatitis. The American Academy of Pediatrics guidance says doctors can offer these weight loss drugs to treat kids who are 12 and up if they're just treating obesity. If there are other more immediate life-threatening factors like diabetes, doctors could consider prescribing these kinds of drugs, Tom, for kids as young as 8.
8 years old. All right. Kate Snow, we thank you for that. All right, up next, scary moments on a Florida river. A sailboat engulfed in flames. The heroic rescue when we come back. Back now with some scary moments in L.A. caught on video. Hikers confronting a man they say set a palm tree on fire along a popular hiking trail. The video doesn't show how this fire started, but police arrived and appeared to detain the man. Wildfire anxiety in L.A. especially high after the devastating fires earlier this year. And take a look at this, a sailboat fully engulfed in flames on a Florida river. Police say a Good Samaritan jumped into action and all 5 people and a dog were safely rescued from the water. No injuries reported there. That's some good news. All right. And we thank you for watching Nightly News on this Tuesday. I'm Tom Llamas. Tonight and always, we're here for you. Good night. We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.